6, he raised us up together, made us sit together in the heavenly places in Christ Jesus. He raised us up. Not he will raise us up. My resurrection happened when his resurrection happened. I am coming into the knowledge of that resurrection as I meet Jesus. And that is as mysterious as grace. Where are you? He raised us up together, made us sit together in the heavenly places in Christ Jesus. The us is not in the text. He raised up together, made sit together in heavenly in Christ Jesus. So I know we've added some pronouns there to try to find the collective. Is Paul talking about the Ephesian church and him? Is Paul talking about him and Jesus? Is Paul talking about the Ephesian church, Paul and Jesus? Difficult. We don't exactly know, but we can't work with what we don't know. We can only work with what we know. And what we know is we are raised up together collectively, not individually. Sounds to me like resurrection is as broad as the cross. What did Paul say to the Corinthians? We conclude that if one man died, all men died. We get that? So at the cross, if Jesus died, everybody died. So what happened at the resurrection? Jesus resurrected, all men resurrected, and our heavenly place is set in Christ. Now, coming to that is my faith journey. Because coming to that is what I'm walking in as I encounter Jesus. This is why you got to give people Jesus. Because what do you want them to know? You want them to know the life of God that's available through Christ. What are they right now? They're living as if they're dead in their sins and trespasses. Now, their cross and their resurrection's already happened. God's not going to do it again. Right? But you want them to be able to walk in it. You want them to be able to know it. Colossians chapter 3. Let me give you another one from Paul. Colossians chapter 3, verse 1. If you then were raised with Christ, seek the things which are above, where Christ is, sitting at the right hand of God. If you were raised with Christ. Have you been raised with Christ? What's your answer? Yes. And I think Paul's answer is, you bet you were raised with Christ, because Christ isn't going to raise twice. You raised up in him. So if you're raised with Christ, seek the things that are above, where Christ is sitting at the right hand of the Father. Set your mind on things above, not on things on the earth. For you died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. Done deal. The death has already happened because the cross has already happened. So my death is in his death. My life is in his life. I am not only looking forward someday to my life, I am celebrating my life in the same way I celebrate my death in Christ. This makes Jesus correct in John 11 when he says to Martha, if a man believe in me, though he die, he shall live. Because now we realize we're not setting our mind on the natural things, we're setting our mind on the supernatural things. If you set your mind on the natural, Jesus lied at John 11 because people die. But if you set your mind on the supernatural, Jesus tells the absolute universal truth of heaven, that there is no death in his resurrection. That when you come into what he has done, there is no end to what he will do.